a Pete Primeau fan.
Thank you for having me.
Your fans are like...
What an honor to be here, Pete. You're a legend. You're a rock star.
I'm a legend in my own mind, said my wife.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
I'm Mr. Selling from the Heart. What's this guy, Larry Levine, going to teach me about selling from the heart?
You are one of the most generous and authentic people around, and I think that's why you and your show are so attractive to people.
Welcome to the Pete Primeau Show. It is episode 238, and I get the day off. My producer, Chris Stone, will be asking the questions. I'll just be answering questions, so it'll be super easy for me. Couldn't get to all of the questions we had last week, so we're doing this again. Try to get to all of them, but you should know that your questions take precedence. And without a further ado, let's pay the bills really quickly. If you haven't bought my book, Sell a Million, what are you waiting for? It's not a sales book. It's a marketing book, and it's a business book, but it's a good book if you need help, if you're a store owner. If you want a sales book, here's a sales book that I am super, super proud of, not because I did this great thing. I was just smart enough to recruit 10 other people that were smarter than me to help me write the book. Scott Vaughn, Jeff Chinakovo, Brent Batterman, Chris Tahaney, Justin Trumbo, Mark Klingenberg, Keith Castanguy, Mel Opp, Randy Thompson, and Steve Carnes all helped write chapters. And a big shout out to Brent Batterman and Chris Tahaney, who both wrote 2 chapters in the book. So grab that book. It is literally 3 years worth of sales meetings in one book. So if you're a sales manager and you need to do a sales meeting every week, divide each chapter in half, use each QR code that's in there as a separate sales meeting. And you, my friend, will have 3 years worth of Saturday morning sales meetings or Sunday morning sales meetings, depending on your store schedule. So without a further ado, let me thank our sponsors of our show. That would be Mattress Industry Network Group. And I can't believe Chris isn't keeping up with me. Usually it works the other way. Usually he's like dragging me like, okay, next. Anyway, if you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in the mattress industry, join this group. It's 100% free. It's a Facebook group. I think there's 2,500 people in there, and everybody's in there. So there's fellow store owners, there's sales pros that work the retail floor, there's sales reps in there, there's VPs of sales, there are owners of manufacturers in there. So if you want to learn how to build, market, sell, and succeed in today's ever-changing environment, join Mattress Industry Network Group, and I will pop in there a couple times a week and say hi. One other thing, if you want to improve your mattress business, Scott Vaughn and Scott Bidwell are having another masterclass in Nashville at the end of September 28th, 29th, and the 30th. See, now this is the way it's supposed to work. Thanks, Chris. If you have not gone to one of these classes, you have to go. Absolutely. If you're serious about the mattress business, you're going to learn in 3 days what took Scott Vaughn 20 years to learn. Use the code PETE, all capitals, 2025 for $200 off. You'll get $200 off. I will be there. And here's the coolest part about this one. So you fly into Nashville and you literally don't leave the airport. The hotel that it's in is attached to the airport. It is so cool. You basically just go up an escalator, go into the hotel, and you're there. So no Lyft, no Uber, no taxi. And it's not only is there a lot of knowledge that you're going to learn, but there's also some networking. To me, that is the most important part, because you're going to have fellow store owners that paid to be here, who are serious about their business. They want to improve just like you, and you will form your own tribe. And trust me, there are some very, very tight relationships because of this event. And it keeps getting better and better. And if you talk to former attendees like Jeff Janakovo, Randy Thompson, RJ Williams from Jacksonville Bedding, they will tell you that yes, they learned a lot, but more importantly, who they met and who they connected to, and how they stayed in touch, and how they keep growing their business through those tribes that they have formed. It's probably more important than the actual nuts and bolts of what they learned inside the seminar. So, guys, do that. Did I miss anything?
I guess this is where I come in and say, no, you didn't miss anything, Pete. I'm just testing you with that first sponsor. I was just saying, can he do this without me putting him in front of, doing the Ron Burgundy squirrel?
Squirrel.
Exactly.
Squirrel. It's squirrel. It's squirrel all the way. And by the way, I just have one thing I want to say to everybody. 99% of everybody that's listening wished me a happy birthday on Facebook, by text, or in person, or with a phone call. Thank you so much. When I added them all up, I got to over 200, because there were these like little things that, like, RJ started his own thing, and there was 10 comments on there that didn't show anywhere else. So
nice.
Guys and gals, thank you so much for making my birthday special this week.
Well, speaking of special, Pete, the chat room here on the Pete Primeau Show, as we go live every Monday at noon Eastern, is on fire. And you mentioned one of our guests, and we'll get to that as well. But a couple of interesting comments that we're going to throw into the mix, and then we'll get right into Ask Pete. First comment from Serenity Sleep Solutions, Mattresses, and more. Let's do this. Hello, Pete.
Marnie, you are still glowing. I love it.
I love when their chat or their comment in the chat matches their personality. It's just like you could see her and hear her saying that, right?
Oh yeah. Thank you, Marnie. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad the new store's working out like a charm for you.
Congratulations on that. And how about this guy, Dan Jordan, Sales Consulting? He says he's driving, but listening and learning today. Lifelong learner, Dan Jordan, the Sales Energizer, is in the house, Pete. It's been a minute.
AKA the Deej.
The Deej.
Thank you for being here, Dan.
In his honor. And
I appreciate you.
Don't look away from the road, Dan, but we are raising our arms in the air in your honor for Dan Jordan, the Sales Energizer. Welcome to the house. And you mentioned this person earlier. This is Rocky Jr., a.k.a. Vernon Williams from Jacksonville, Bedding, Mattresses, and more. And he is chiming in from Nashville, from the conference in Nashville. Hello from Primetime. Can't listen, but we'll watch and reply, of course. Thank you, Pete Primeau and Chris Stone. Wow, he's thanking me. I'm already... Whew. Pete, is the color coming through?
Is the color... You're blushing.
Okay. For always bringing quality content that helps shape the future of this industry. Pete, what mattress do you sleep on? We got a question already, but we hadn't even started going through the rules of this. I love this. I don't have to go through, everyone's trained to do Ask Pete. So the question is, what mattress do you sleep on? What one innovation you were sure was going to be a hit, but ended up being a flop. So there's two questions in there, Pete. And it's like this is a bonus here from RJ.
Thank you, RJ, and thank you, Chris, for making sure he spelled everything out so that I remembered to call you RJ as opposed to JR. So I sleep on a Spink. Hey, Tara, happy Monday. Let's
got
go.
The duo in the house today from Duval.
Two superstars right there. So I sleep on a Spink and Edgar, Mark Quinn's former company that he started, and probably will never be able to move that bed. It's literally takes 4 people. All the components were grown on a farm in England. So the wool that's in it, everything, the cotton that's in it, the wool that's in it was all grown on a farm in England. So it is, it's a special mattress and it's super heavy. So it's probably not going anywhere. I'll probably, if I ever leave this house, which I don't know, I'll probably make a deal to leave it with the people. I might even reduce the price so I don't have to move it.
Well, that's a deal. That's going to add value to your home right there.
And then, so RJ, your question is so good. So the one innovation that I was absolutely sure was going to be a hit, but ended up being a flop. Well, there's more than one, but the biggest one, and the one that's probably freshest in everybody's mind, is the Olympic Queen. I thought that's really, really good. 66 inches, that's more, it's a half a foot more than 60 inches, which is a normal queen. This is really going to be, and it was nothing. It was just an absolute unadulterated flop. But I will say this, they came back with one-sided mattresses and changed the industry. So kudos to Simmons for being an innovator, and hey, they're not all winners. So
hey, yeah, it's true. You don't bat 1,000 when you step to the plate, right? And so an Olympic Queen, was that like a Queen Plus type of deal? Is it like somewhere between a queen and a king? Is that
66 by 80, same length?
Yeah,
just wider, about a half a foot wider.
Okay, got it.
It should have worked. It really should have worked, but it didn't.
Yeah, you wonder if because everything else is so standardized, right? And so now you're coming out with something that's outside of what has been, everyone has basically been around the frameworks of, king, queen, twin, like all of those things. Yeah. And now you come out with something completely different, and everybody's like, well, I'm not changing all of these things that I have around a regular queen all of a sudden just for this mattress. Yep. I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know enough about it to do anything other than speculate. But the Olympic Queen was something that I never knew existed. But today on Ask Pete,
there you go.
I got it.
You and the Deej, you both got educated.
How about that? How about this legend and guest of the Pete Primeau Show multiple times? Mark Bannon's in the house. Good morning. Joining in while prepping for a meeting. Hope all is well.
Blessed, Mark. Blessed. Thank you for joining, and good luck with your meeting, brother.
All right, Pete. I think it's time, and I'll quickly go through the rules. So hang tight for you, active listeners and watchers. Are you doing this
for me or for my audience?
Yes, yes. So Ask Pete, ladies and gentlemen, is really like not everybody can join live, like Mark and RJ and Tara and Dan and Marnie and everybody else who's maybe just lurking and listening and watching, and may be afraid yet to chime in with comments or questions. But you may not be able to watch live, and if you're not, you can email Pete at you can email Pete at pete@peteprimeau.com. That's a lot of Pete's in there. Yep. Pete@peteprimeau.com. Put Ask Pete in the subject, and we'll get to your question. And if you're, you maybe don't have the guts to put your real name in there, you can maybe say, hey, Pete, I'd like to be known as this, or, keep me anonymous. And, because I know sometimes people don't feel great about this, but they really want to know an answer to a question. And you can, get on the couch of Pete Primeau here, hang out, and get this advice from a mattress legend. So if you are in the chat and you do have questions, your question will take precedent. We're going to move you to the top of the line, and we'll get to these emails as quickly as possible. Last week, Pete, we didn't get to a few, but we're going to get them today. So let's do it.
Let's go.
All right. First question is from Looking to the Future in Florida. Pete, my stores are slightly profitable, which I'm pleased with at the moment because a lot of stores are not. Our average ticket is through the roof. It is substantially up. I've continued to merchandise up, and I'm thankful that I did. Do you think the lower end customer is ever coming back? If yes, when? What trends do you see? Thanks for always helping us to see around the corner. And this is Looking to the Future in Florida.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, looking to the future. I'm glad you're slightly profitable. That is super. I'm glad that you embrace better merchandise. And I'm glad your average unit selling price is up, because if it wasn't, you'd be in a lot of trouble because the low end is very sparse. So why is the low end sparse? This is in my estimation. Okay. I could be missing something here. I'm just spitballing. So anybody that has any answers that you think are better than mine, throw them in the comments so that we can help looking to the future in Florida out. So number one, inflation. You've got inflation, and it really hasn't subsided. There's been some studies saying it subsided. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I think inflation's still holding people back. If it's subsided in some areas, it hasn't subsided in all areas, and there's always a lag. Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of what happens in any economy, especially a free enterprise economy, is perception. Perception is reality. It becomes reality very quickly. So when you have fear mongering going on by a press that has a political agenda, you're gonna have some undesirable effects on the economy. That doesn't mean we stop doing what we're supposed to do as retailers and as wholesalers, for that matter. The other reason is Amazon. Years and years ago, these retailers were acting like Amazon's your friend. And I'll never forget this. I barely knew Jeff Giannakovo, and he said, this is years ago, and if you think that Amazon is your friend because you're making a little bit of money, wait till they get all the data. Wait till they start becoming your competitor. And then you'll be sorry that you ever cooperated with them. And boy, were those words true. I mean, Jeff was the very first person that said that in our industry.
Wow.
And it took a lot of what to say that, and Jeff went out there with that, and it was true then, it's true now. So Amazon's getting a lot of lower end business. You have some guys like Box Drop out there, Mattress by Appointment out there, that are catering to the lower end customer. But they both play the same game that everybody else plays in retail forever. They advertise items that they will actually sell to the consumer, but their goal is to step everybody up into better merchandise. And so they don't sell as much low end as you guys think they do, but they do take a little bit of a bite out of that market. And certainly a customer that hasn't already bought on Amazon, which is going to be few and far between, will respond to those. So So your question is, do I think the low end customers coming back? I think you will see more lower end customers when the economy swings around and the narrative in the media is more positive. Okay.
Mm.
And so I think they're not going to be able to hide good things that are happening for too awful long. So this is what I'm going to say. I think by the end of the first quarter next year, um, our economy will be absolutely roaring. That's a prediction. So you guys can, if it's not, you guys can play this back and say, Pete,
You've proven wrong.
you were wrong. And I'll say, well, just put another one in the wrong column because I've been wrong before. So I do think the lower end, more promotional customer is coming back. Are they going to come back in droves? No, unless somehow there's a huge misstep by Amazon or somebody else.
Yeah.
But do I think it will get bigger? Yes. Should you build your business around that? My very overly simple answer is no. You should let customers know that you have a broad range of products in all of your ads and all of your communications, your marketing efforts. The customer should be aware of all the great things that you do and some of the promotional things that you do. And they should understand that you carry price points between X and Y or A and Z. So that you get this idea across of selection. It's one of the reasons people will go to a sleep shop versus a furniture store, and why some people will shop in a furniture store for their mattress if that furniture store behaves like a sleep shop. So, is there anything else part of that?
No, I think you covered it off, but I think there's a number of people that are chiming in as well. So
I wanna hear.
that will help dovetail here for and add value to looking to the futures question here in Florida, and some legendary friends of the show here as well. Gordon Hecht says people will buy 2 or 3 cars, 4 TVs, 6 iPhones, and 3 barbecue grills in 10 years. But keep the same mattress for longer. How can retailers and manufacturers increase the urgency in replacing mattresses?
That is the question there's no answer to, Gordon. There was an advertising effort, a marketing effort to replace mattresses every 7 to 8 years. Most guys have kind of abandoned that. I would like to see it continue over a long period of time to see if it could have any impact. The other thing is, mattresses and boxes gradually lose their support and their comfort. And that's why vacations are so important. So, maybe advertising around vacations is more important than we know. There's a few triggers. Here's a lifestyle triggers that we know that result in mattress purchases: divorces, deaths, and vacations. Okay. And only one of them's a good thing, right? But we know from all the studies, 43 plus years I've been doing this, divorces, deaths, and vacations. The other thing I would add to that is when people are moving. They will, at that point, often realize that their mattress has lost support and support and comfort. So one of the things I think that we need to really do is talk about what Jeff Janakovo calls waking up happy and pain-free. Their future state. I think we need, as an industry, to talk about their future state. How can they be the best mom, the best dad, the best policeman, the best fireman, the best teacher? How can you be the best student without a good night's sleep? And the simple, overly simple answer to that is you can't. It is the single most important part of your health. When you look at the wellness stool, you look at exercise, diet, and rest, and sleep is the biggest part of rest. When I started at CrossFit, nutrition was the base. Well, actually, exercise was the base, nutrition was next, and sleep was the next one. And they've changed that upside down. It's now the base of all success with wellness. And it doesn't even matter if you're looking at CrossFit's thing or you're looking at anyone else's. It is rest. And as I said, the biggest part of rest is sleep. Getting naps is important too. Then nutrition, and then exercise. Exercise is important, but it's the smallest component. And the simplistic reason why, whether you're running or whether you're lifting weights, you're breaking down your body. Your body has to have the right nutrition to repair itself, but it has to have enough sleep to repair itself during sleep. So Olympic athletes, every athlete, it doesn't even matter if it's a gymnast or a weightlifter or a sprinter, they'll all tell you, baseball players, football players, basketball players, they'll all tell you that without a good night's sleep, they're not going to perform at their best. And this is the one thing that I'm passionate about. I know some people who are in our industry and they look like raccoons. Like they've got, like, they're not getting a good night's sleep, and it's physically obvious. You've got to solve your own health issues, and you have to be the model of a good night's sleep.
Got to walk the talk, right? Got to walk the talk.
Yeah, your brand should be, if we're talking about wellness and we're talking about improving the quality of a customer's life, we should be the embodiment of it. And the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you carry yourself should be energetic, should be positive, because you are actually executing on what you're recommending. You are getting a good night's sleep. Like when Brent Batterman comes on this show, like he's coming through your screen, man. Like, right, Brent? I love that dude. Like he's coming through your screen at you.
I think Brent gets a good night's sleep.
He does.
If I'm betting red or black, I definitely am saying that he's got a good night's sleep for sure.
So that's a great question, Gordon, and thank you for asking that. And I know that there's really no one answer to that. It's we as an industry have to really embrace living and walking the walk, and becoming models for what we're recommending. And then we'll have a lot more credibility in the marketplace.
So, Pete, we've got a number of folks in the chat that are chiming in, but also back to looking to the future in Florida related to the lower end customer ever coming back. So we want to, just when we thought we could jump off of looking to the future in Florida's question, they keep pulling us back in.
Let's do it. Yeah, it's like The Godfather.
Andy Friedman says,
they pulled me back in.
Exactly. Andy Friedman says, happy birthday, Pete.
Thank you,
yes,
Andy.
if you are watching, if you are listening, there is a chat somewhere. And, chat and wish the legend, Pete Primeau, a happy birthday, please. He's counting them. We found out of that earlier he counts how many people are doing that. So not to add guilt to anyone, but Pete is counting if you've wished him a happy birthday, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Andrew Burt says, good morning, everyone. Although Andrew did not wish you a happy birthday yet. Okay.
He did. He actually did.
Oh, okay. All right. At least not today in the chat.
On Facebook. So
okay. He's keeping track. Andy is keeping track. So Anthony Klatt has got a lot of comments here, and I want to pull those in because I think these are certainly worthwhile. Anthony Klatt says, low end is sparse. Inflation has taken most of their disposable income, and incomes have not kept up.
I agree.
Let me just grab some more here from Anthony. AI's immigration pressures have many consumers afraid to spend and afraid to leave their homes.
I can't speak to that.
Yeah.
It's possible. And by the way, Anthony, thank you for jumping in and being here. I know you're running a sizable company, and appreciate you being here.
Anthony also says that Amazon has taken a slice of the low-end market, and those consumers are no longer shopping stores. But fortunately, the poor quality product on Amazon has sourced some low-end consumers, and they're returning have soured some low-end consumers, and they're returning to their stores. And I think that's just something that people think, oh, great, I can get a mattress in a box that can decompress and be ready for me to sleep on after something. But then you kind of are getting what you're paying for, and they're getting the Temu mattress from Amazon, and then they're getting what they pay for. And look at this. Anthony says, happy birthday, Pete. So check the box. Good job.
Well, Anthony already wished me a happy birthday. So thank you. Thank you again, Anthony. And listen, thank you for taking my tickets and having fun at the poker game at the Annie for Autism. That was great. I'm glad you got a chance to do that. I want to speak to a very good point that Anthony brought up.
Okay.
And I think that we as an industry need to start to capitalize on it. I've heard it on several sales floors. And I started hearing it just a few years ago, and I'm hearing it more, and it's starting to get louder. And so this idea that somebody bought a low-end mattress at Amazon, and they will literally come into the store and say, don't show me any junk. I want something good. I already did that thing with Amazon, and I'm not doing it again. So how do we reach these people with a good marketing message? How do we capitalize on that? Because that is increasing. That chatter among the consumers is increasing, and how do we capitalize on that? So thank you for bringing that up, Anthony. Very good.
And a point of clarification from Anthony. I said AI immigration. He was typing also immigration as a factor for keeping people in their homes and maybe not shopping at mattress stores. So I wanted to add that point of clarification that he's made.
I
in
didn't
the
think
chat
about that, Anthony. Thank you for bringing that up.
And the happy birthdays are raining in, Pete. Mark Bannon says happy birthday.
He already got me. Thank you, Mark. Thanks again.
Listen, this is a cheap producer ploy when it's somebody's birthday to get the chat room going. But so sorry to placate all of that. But let's get to some real questions.
So to finish on trends, is there anything else in there?
Oh yeah, we've got lots of stuff coming in. Janakovo is here in the chat. Andy Anderson's in the chat. We want to definitely get to you guys, so hang tight. So Pete, yeah, go ahead and finish off.
Let me just say this quickly about trends. This is not the only trend, but very strong trends. People who advertise double-sided mattresses sell double-sided mattresses and eliminate mammoth competitors like Mattress Firm, who does not carry double-sided, and most of their people will say they don't even exist. You eliminate virtually all of the department stores unless there's one obscure one that has a model or two. Most department stores don't have any. So two-sided mattresses, believe it or not, still an uptrending. Split heads are bigger than ever. It's becoming just another size. If you don't have split head queen and kings, you are behind the 8 ball. And by the way, on both of these issues, both of these trends, Janakovo saw these before anybody else. Like, I almost thought he was nuts when he was going so hard on into the two-sided. And then when he jumped on the split heads, I was pretty much with him on that. But he saw this two-sided thing, and it was from keeping his ear low to the ground on the floor. And Then the other trend that I would say is customizable. So if Mrs. Jones wants hers softer, or Mr. Jones wants his firmer, having an option or two is going to be more important than ever. And the companies that address that, customizable mattresses will no longer be relegated to air mattresses. You're going to almost have like build a mattress type constructions that are easily swapped out, where you can swap out foam components and inner spring components, that you will see more and more of in the future. And then the other thing that I would say, and it's not like product related, but if you watch the Pete Primeau show, the one thing that I constantly say is stop chasing the shiny objects and start becoming a business person. And the number one thing is get your door to swing. We need bodies inside the stores, buying before it matters even what you offer. So AI. Embrace AI. AI is your friend. AI is nothing to be afraid of. You should view it as a hammer or a screwdriver that talks back to you.
A screwdriver that talks back to you. Now I'm going to create an AI video showing a screwdriver that talks back to someone. But Pete, you've been around long enough to remember when the internet was, came on, and texting and all of these things that everybody was like, I'm not doing that because of, whatever the reasons, fear or whatever. But what are we doing now to sell whatever we're selling? We have to be on the internet. And if you haven't been on the internet for, 35, 40 plus years, you probably aren't in business anymore. And so I think there's going to be bad actors in any new technology, and there's going to be some fear around it. But you have to move like a shark through it and stay the mission, and not say I'm totally against it. There's really creative ways to utilize it in any business. Ways to organize yourself. Ways to get off a blank page and get yourself moving. Ways to brainstorm with an assistant. Ways that you can, if you're just stuck, it can really help you to get unstuck. And so I am obviously, up to my earballs in AI, but there are bad actors, and there are times where AI will confidently lie to you. And so you have to have discerning, a discerning mind, judgment. And stay yourself through this. Don't let it try to replace you or have a fear that it will replace you, and learn to be excellent at what you do. Speaking of excellent, Pete, how about this happy birthday from Shop Happy Z's? Happy birthday from your Happy Z's family. We love you, precious Pete.
So I love you guys. I love you guys so much. I can't even stand
I love that we've got people chiming in and doing more happy birthdays, everyone. Please, more happy birthdays. I've never seen this hue of Pete before on the Pete Primeau show. This is a beautiful hue of Pete Primeau.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys. I love you too. Thanks.
All right. But we were speaking of legends. Besides that, we have, let me go back up here to Randy Thompson, the adjustable bed guru. All right. In 40 years, I've seen water beds, pillow top mattresses, air mattresses, Tempur-Pedic, and now the adjustable bed generation. What do you think is the next big wave in this industry?
I don't see adjustable beds slowing down anytime soon, Randy. And listen, I'm glad you're here, Randy, because I nicknamed Randy Thompson the adjustable bed guru. He saw this before anybody else saw it. And some of the best in the industry have paid Randy to fly out to their store and train. Jeff Giannakovo is one of them. And so Randy, I think the next big wave is going to be customization. It's already started. It's going to increase. And split heads is already here. So, it's going to do nothing. Split heads is going to just become a regular size. But the guys and the gals that don't have a half a dozen to 10 or 12 of them on their floor, they're not going to be considered a real mattress store without split heads. You're not going to be in the game. You are literally going to be left behind, like the book series, like the people that didn't believe in Jesus that got left behind. Those people. And
Kirk Cameron, the actor Kirk Cameron with that series. You're surprised I knew that, didn't you, Pete?
It's very good, Chris.
How long ago? I could probably Google this, but when were split heads? When were they released? Like when you probably went to a market one year, but then it wasn't mass produced and it wasn't available to people.
Number's been doing them for about 14 years, maybe a hair longer.
So, do you think that there is a curse of knowledge for people that are in this industry? Like and what I mean by that specifically, if no one's heard that before, is since Pete's been in this industry for 40 years, since I've been in the industry that I've been in for 30 plus years, whether it's music or podcasting, we have this curse of knowledge that everyone should know, in my case, how to speak into a microphone, why you wear headphones on a podcast. In the case of mattresses, like why, some types of mattresses do this or even exist. But the general consumer doesn't know all of this expertise that you all know and have known for years. So without insulting anyone's intelligence by saying, oh, geez, yeah, split heads have been out for 14 years. I can't believe you didn't know this. It's more of like hey, this is something you may not know about, and I want to be able to help you as the expert. Do you think, Pete, that in a lot of ways there's this curse of knowledge that the SDRs or sales pros or people think, like, you should know this by now. Why am I telling people that they should be sleeping this way, or they should, or saying the very same things every time somebody walks into the store, when most people don't have any idea about any of the stuff that you've known for 40 years?
Wow. Well, there's a lot there, Chris. So let me just say this. The buy-in cycle for the average consumer is 10 to 15 years. As I said before, there was an advertising campaign saying, people should buy in 7 to 8 years. There was another one, 8 to 10 years. Both have seemed to fall flat. But the reality is most people keep their mattresses for 10 to 15 years. I think I call it the curse of the familiar, or clinging to what used to be. There's a lot of retailers that are fond of the way things used to be, and maybe they used to do a lot more business before, and they're not doing as much business now. So they look at something like split heads and it scares them. They go, no, I don't think so. But really, for years and years and years, I've been telling everybody, shop your competitors. If somebody's already got split heads on your floor, you're behind, and you let that happen because you didn't shop your competitors. The first time one of your competitors had a split head on their floor, and then you saw a second and a third and a fourth one come, and then I've got retailers with 10 to 20 of them on their floor. Okay. And if you don't have a selection of split heads, you are behind. You are behind the game, way behind, not even close. So I think it happens for a lot of reasons. I think, there's a lot of work to change in our mindset. But here's the reality. If we are not open to changing and looking ahead of the curve and seeing what's happening, and, you don't have to be the first one, but you need to get in there before your major competitor gets there.
I like that. I like that because success leaves clues, right? And so if you're seeing these successful, and the great thing I think about what you're doing, guys like Jeff, RJ, Scott, Vaughn, like all of these folks are sharing all of this information. And so it's like, look, ladies and gentlemen, here is what worked for me. And you can't, make a complete Xerox copy. I'm dating myself. Xerox copy of the success story of Happy Z's and think that that's going to work for your store in Amarillo or whatever. I'm just throwing that out arbitrarily. But you can get clues from people like Scott Vaughn and get clues from people like Pete Primeau and people like Jeff Giannakvo and go, hey, this is something that I can use, this little nugget, and see if it works for me, but not like completely take think you're taking a template and it's going to work for you. I think a lot of people think that like they're trying to boil the ocean and all at once and do everything that somebody else is doing and think it's going to work for you. But I think to your point, look at what's working for some people and just take something from it. You don't have to completely, and you shouldn't have to try to make a complete copy of that. You should be yourself, but use these success clues to try to be more successful. And I think back to the curse of knowledge that I was talking about. I think people in general don't know about this stuff. They just don't. They don't know what a split head is. They just know what a mattress is, and they're overdue for getting one. And then they walk in and they're overwhelmed. And I think and then they go shopping online and they try to do all kinds of research, and that's overwhelming. And by the time they walk into your store, they're like, I think I should get somebody that can just guide me to the one thing that I want. And so the right approach is to not assume that they know everything and just go, look, hey, listen, I know all this stuff out here is really super confusing. Let me just walk you through this really quickly. And then, let's not make this a big deal. So anyway, we've got a lot of folks here, and I could tell already, Pete, we're not getting to all the questions that we got.
Yeah, I just looked at the clock and we're not. We're still on the first question, aren't we? Yeah, it's okay. This is nice problems to have, ladies and gentlemen. If you're still in the chat and you do have questions, you do take precedent. Andy Anderson and he makes a comment here, the low-end customer is generally only loyal to their dollar. That is right. A 99-cent store went bankrupt to Temu, and Temu sells mattresses. Back to what we were saying earlier about. Well said, Andy.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Andy. Jeff Giannakvo, I think your ears were burning, my friend. It's not hard yet. So many miss everyday lessons right in front of their eyes simply because it isn't mattress speak. Our industry is far too incestuous. Those are big words, Jeff.
Giannakvo, you stole that from me. You stole my incestuous comment about our industry. But you know what? I'm flattered that you chose to steal that from me because it is an incestuous industry.
Jeff also says, regarding expectations of long-term durability are owned by all of us. When we express the warranty in terms of 1, 2, or more decades, or worse, lifetime warranties. Just dumb.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more, Jeff.
Jeff, can you please give us a take? No, I'm kidding. I'm just...
Jeff, what I want you to learn how to do is to start to express yourself and say what you really mean.
Right.
I'm a little concerned about you being able. So let's get it out. Okay.
The happy birthday wishes are pouring in from the chat. Thank you for
Patrick Tinney.
Thank you for indulging me.
The legend. Thank you. Thank you for happy birthday. I appreciate that.
It's been a minute, Pat. Hope you're well. And Lord Tinney from Buckhorn, I've got an incredibly long question that looks like that's from Ramses Mazon. And it looks like it's not complete. So hopefully we'll get the second half of this. Rand says, hello, guys. Not sure if you're familiar with the book called The Myth Revisited. It has encouraged the E-Myth Revisited. It has encouraged us to not be every little thing for our business and try to let others take over certain parts. For example, for 4 years, we did deliveries. I've hired a company to do that for us and given us the freedom of time, which we are very grateful for. We are now wanting to hire a salesperson that is bilingual because of our clientele. We have a business system that's worked, and we obviously, and that's where the chat ran out. But I think this is a great point by Ramses. Yeah.
Yeah. And Ramses, I think you might be in Mattress Retailer Toolkit, but I'm not 100% sure. If you're not, you should be, because that is what Jeff Giannakovo preaches every day. Mattressretailertoolkit.com. And you should jump in on that if you're not already there, Ramses, because Jeff preaches that every day, and you'd get a lot of benefit from that. And I think it's something stupid like $97 or $99 a month, and you get all kinds of resources, and the community is some of the best people in the industry are in that community. So I would encourage you to jump in there.
Do you know who's speaking to the Mattress Retailer Toolkit community tomorrow, Pete?
Who? You?
This guy named Chris Stone. He's going to talk
Awesome.
about podcasting.
Well, I have to listen to that one then. I'll have to be there. You're putting the pressure on me now.
Oh, listen. The only pressure I'm going to have is I'm encouraging everybody to wish you a happy birthday, so you can just turn all kinds of colors on that.
It's working. Thank you.
Yeah, look at here, Karen Converse. Happy birthday, Pete.
Thanks, Karen. Again. Thanks, Andy. Again. See, you don't have to encourage Andy too awful much. He's wished me multiple times happy birthday. So thank you, Andy.
Pat says he's finally retired.
Yeah, I don't know if you're really retired. I don't know if you're really retired, Patrick. We're gonna have to talk, me and you.
Pete, I think, let me just double check. I think we got through all the questions. There's been a deluge of you like that? I'm being, Giannakovo's rubbing off on me. I'm using big words like him. At least I'm trying to. I'm not even sure that made sense. All right. Let's do this. We're going to get to the second question.
Let's get to the second question. We got it. My Lord.
It's blank. No, it's not. Hang on a sec. We're having fun with our computers today. This is why that thing happened earlier. Here we go. This is from Curious in Oklahoma. Thank you for being patient, Curious in Oklahoma. Hey, Pete, I didn't get a chance to go to the Vegas market. Some store owners said market was slow. Some store owners said it was the worst market they've ever seen. I know you went. What did you see?
I saw the same thing, Curious. I will tell you this, that I was completely booked up. I had 34 appointments in 2 days. And there were times when I had people that I was busy with a customer that had an appointment, and I actually would have to have one of my teammates take a customer that just popped in through. So I had 34 unique visits to my line. So I was extremely happy with market. And I have to say this, feeling very, very blessed. But I would say that the traffic in the hallways was almost non-existent. And I felt sorry for anybody that was dependent on traffic. As you guys know, I don't depend on traffic. I have appointments. I have, and we had a lot of nice surprises. We actually ended up with more dealers coming through than we had on the schedule. So it was really, really good for me. And I would just say this, for all the reps that didn't have a great market, it's a learning curve for you. You have to promote for, promote it the best you can with everybody in multiple ways. An email doesn't get it done. A text doesn't get it done. A phone call doesn't get it done. One store visit doesn't get it done. Most of my appointments that showed up received probably 8 to 10 different texts, at least 8 to 10 emails, probably 3 to 4 store visits, and phone calls too. So never underestimate how much work it is to get a customer to go into a space. And this is probably a good time to bring up the 10X rule, which I thought was kind of crazy when I first saw it. And, Grant Cardone may not be my cup of tea style wise, but he wrote a book called 10X and everybody should read it that's watching. Next question. I'm trying to get a question answered in 4 minutes.
All right. We got to get to them. And the chat seems to be slowing down. I will say this. Tinny says he's done. He says he is done and he is retired. So congratulations, Lord Tinny, on your retirement. I don't know, golf, fishing, maybe writing a book
one
here
question,
and there.
Pat, am I still allowed to call you if I don't talk about business? Because I love Pat.
I have a feeling the answer is 100% yes on that. So we're getting a lot of questions emailed from Florida, looking for answers. Pete, what books are you reading right now? What books do you recommend a new store owner read? This is looking for answers in Florida.
Okay. All right. I can do this one fast.
Okay.
So guys, I am still reading Bryn's AI book on prompts.
Oh yeah.
And Bryn Tillman she's special. Anything about AI or LinkedIn, I would get in touch with her. I had the privilege of sitting next to her at a seminar. She is one of the biggest givers I've ever seen in this business. And she's not really, she's in the training business. She's not in the mattress business per se, but she's a giver. And then this book, Compliments of Andy Anderson, I am reading right now by Jeremy Miner, and I will let you know what I think of it shortly. I'm not all the way through with it. And then, so that's what I'm reading right now. And I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that I read the Bible every day. If that turns you off or you don't like it, I don't really care. I'm 65 years old and tired of not saying what I think. Anyway.
Bam. Okay. That's what we like. We like Pete unhindered. And not afraid to say.
Now, what do we got? Books for business owners, store owners. What was the second part of that question?
Yeah, basically, what would you recommend a new store owner read?
Great book by Anthony Iannarino, The Negativity Fast. It's mindset stuff, but how to protect yourself against craziness. Also mindset stuff. Yes. A positive attitude, a yes attitude. And the gold in this book is literally in the middle. It's in the middle. It's pages 146 to 147. Everybody that's watching this, if you are alive and you are a human being, you'll be a happier, more productive human being if you read this book. An oldie but a goodie. This is my daddy's book, so it's very sentimental to me. By Dale Carnegie. How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Oh, that's cool. I'm
fighting back the tears right now. So, and now this ties into just being a super blessed human being. My grandmother, this isn't the exact book my grandmother gave to me, but this is the exact book she gave to me when I was 10 years old. How many people have this book given to them when they're 10 years old? The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale. Blessed?
That's the reason why you're so positive, Pete. When you were 10 years old, you got that book.
Blessed? Blessed? All right. Specific. Come Back to Bed by Mark Quinn and Mark Kinsley. Great book. They wrote it, published it during COVID. It's a great marketing book specifically for mattresses. Attract more foot traffic and make people fall in love with your store. Great book. Highly recommend it. Of course, I recommend Sell a Million, but if you want a great marketing book, The Wizard of Ads. This is a great marketing book by Roy H. Williams. Guys, grab this book because you guys have to be the marketer of your business. All right.
For those that are listening on the podcast, we'll make sure that all of those links are in the show notes for you to be able to pick up those books. And we have another book. So Pete, go ahead.
Best book ever. My friend Drew Reichert and me, when we worked for Sutherland, we had a dinner and then we sat in the hallway talking to each other till like 1 or 2 in the morning. And this was one of the books. He said, Pete, you got to read this book. So it is a truly great book. And it is How to Sell at Margins Higher Than Your Competitors, Win in Every Sale at Full Price, Rate, or Fee by Lawrence Steinmetz and William T. Brooks. Great book, and it will change the way you think. Also, this book dovetails right into it. It's a Dan Kennedy book. No BS Price Strategy. Anything by Dan Kennedy's good. If you wonder, like, where did Janakovo get a lot of his stuff from? Dan Kennedy. And then this book, The No BS Ruthless Management of People and Profits. No holds barred, kick butt, take no prisoners guide to really getting rich. And tell you a funny story about this book really quickly. I tried to give this book to a friend of mine, Joey Amato. And he looked at it and he says, I'm not taking my cell phones away from my employees. I'm not having lockers for them. I'm not doing this. This is BS. Nobody would ever steal from me. And then, sadly, the person closest to him in his business stole over $2 million from him and basically put him out of business. So that book that I just showed you will save your business life. You will not like some of the things that it says. You will absolutely not like it. You might even throw it back and say, I'm not reading it. Don't do that. Do not do that. You don't have to do everything, but you need to be aware of what can happen. So
I've never seen so many words on the cover of a book than those 2 Dan Kennedy books.
Yeah, I know.
You know, it goes against the whole keep it simple and powerful and impactful. Like the book cover that most people are using right now goes totally against that, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know.
So we got 3 in.
Yes, and we are over time. There are some questions, so we're not going to have time to get to them in comments from Gordon and from Andy Freeman as well that are in the chat. So Pete, I will
respond
need to make
later.
Yeah, there we go.
So Chris, thank you, and thank you everybody.
Thank you,
This was
Pete.
great. I love when we can't get to all the questions because that means
I
we're answering your
don't.
questions.
No, I'm kidding.
I know. I know. There's this thing, right? Like you want to complete your task, right? But hey, when we're having great interactions and we're helping, that's what it's all about.
That's it.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Pete, go forward.
Have fun and sell a million this week, everybody. Happy Labor Day. Labor Day sales are in full force right now. So have fun. And anybody out there that's even thinking about doing a podcast, call this guy right here, Chris Stone. How do they get a hold of you, Chris?
I am at castahead.net. You can call me 678-231-5611. Yeah, I just gave my phone number. Or Chris at castahead.net. Thanks, Pete. This has been amazing.
Thank you.
Take
Have
care,
fun, everybody. Sell a million.